Hello, it is Keegan here, and today I am bringing you another VGC video. Today we are taking on Champion Braden for the second time this month. We played against him in the BBR in week number 1 and lost a pretty close game, one where I think I made a few mistakes. So hopefully in this game we don't make any key mistakes and we can play well and get a big win here in the VGC League, a league we actually have a win in right now. So really want to continue to do well, not well, but continue to truck on in this league. So if you're excited for today's video, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you have not already. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year. Would really appreciate if you can help me get to that goal. So it's going to be a showdown team builder today. It's going to be a little bit of a quick one. I am going away for the Magic the Gathering Regional Championships in Ottawa for Canada this coming week. So I'm doing showdown team builders this week just to save myself just a little bit of time and keep up the upload so you don't miss anything. So let's talk about Braden's team. He has Raging Bolt, Tornadus, Entei, Venusaur, Hariyama, Gastrodon, Ninetales, Golurk, Bastiodon, and Aipom. He's got a Sun team, and Sun is what we played last week. Our opponent had Torkoal. We're playing a Ninetales team this week. So back-to-back Sun, which means that we're going to be leaning on the Fluttermane a little bit to take advantage of the fact that it is in Sun. Use that photosynthesis ability to our advantage. Heatran is also very good in Sun as well to spam Heat Wave. Does a lot to even, resist it hits. Sun Heat Wave is going to do a lot of damage. If we look at his team, Entei's really good into my team. Terrafire Entei just does a lot of damage to stuff like the Fluttermane, the Baxcalibur, obviously just nukes the Alolan Ninetales, and requires me to be really aggressive with my Heatran and my Rhyperior against that slot. Tornadus is also one of the best utility Pokemon in VGC right now, so that's going to be a really good option for him to just kind of have, his way with whatever he wants to do with that Pokemon, whether it's set up Tailwind, Sunny Day in certain instances. And then stuff like Venusaur as a backline mon in the Sun is going to be devastating if my game plan ends up resolving around stuff like the Fluttermane and Rhyperior, because it has double stab to basically just nuke both of those Pokemon. Other Pokemon on his team that are kind of good, Gastrodon is just like a decent VGC Pokemon, and then Hariyama is okay, but easier for my team to break, but I could randomly accidentally burn it with something like Heatran. So now let's move into the team. I'm going to go through this quickly just to talk about kind of the sets. This is Citrus Berry, Trick Room, Fluttermane. So the reason I want to run Trick Room this week is I want to take advantage of my Rhyperior with SD this week. Now, that's not to say I'm going to be setting up Trick Room all of the time. This is mainly just another form of speed control. But if we go for a Trick Room Rhyperior lead, that gives me the opportunity to just set up and put out +2 Rock Slides under Trick Room against my opponent's team, which is very powerful against common Sun builds. I have Protect here just because it's a good move to buy some turns, especially against Sun, and then Moonblast Shadow Ball for coverage. Considering Dazzling Gleam here, but he's got a lot of Pokemon that can just take Dazzling Gleams, like Entei, Bastiodon randomly, the Alolan Ninetales, so the spread damage is not going to be really useful. I'm probably going to want to single target a lot of mons this week. And then Terra Ghost just have powerful Shadow Balls. I would expect a lot of his Pokemon to be focused around the Fairy type because we also have this Alolan Ninetales, so I'm going to go Terra Ghost to maximize my damage on that side of things because we're not Dazzling Gleam. Snow Warning, Alolan Ninetales, Protect, Aurora Veil, Encore, and Freeze Dry. Encore gives me some utility against Tornadus to lock it into something like Sunny Day, for example, that it might want to click. Aurora Veil is on the set, it's useful, but it's not going to be the primary focus of what we're trying to do with this Pokemon. If we bring it in off a backline, or even lead it and we think he's not playing to the Sun game plan, we can use this. And the Protect just general decent move. And then Freeze Dry, very good against the Gastrodon, which I want to have an option to kill Gastrodon on this team if need be. And then likely just allows me to get more Snow Warning damage. Choice Band, Baxcalibur. This is a perfect backline mon in this matchup. Ice Shard is very powerful and very spammable into his team, so I want the ability to come in after dealing a lot of damage with something like the Fluttermane and the Heatran and the Rhyperior to bring this in and kind of clean up the rest of the game. It is minus speed nature, so if I am under Trick Room, I can spam something like Ice Wheel, Crash, or Glaive Rush, because I'm not really trying to hit anything speed-wise with this because of the Ice Shard. And I have Terra Dragon just as a way to make this Glaive Rush and nuke against something like Gastrodon potentially. Heatran is AV minus speed to also play into that, the Trick Room angle a little bit. I am kind of focused on Trick Room, and you'll see here I have a Medicham also that has Trick Room in the back. This is Assault Vest, so even if I don't set up Trick Room, it's going to be very good at taking defensive hits. And then sending out Heat Waves, Terra Blast, Dragon Pulse, and Earth Power. I do have Terra Grass for the Terra Blast as another way to handle Gastrodon if need be in the late game. As I alluded to earlier, Terra Fairy Rhyperior is a Swords Dance set, so one of the first turns, if I can catch my opponent into a bad spot, is to set up Trick Room with Flutter Mane and then set up a Swords Dance with Rhyperior. It's unlikely that can happen, but this is a very, very powerful opening line that I want to have access to. And then Rock Slide, Stompy Tantrum, and I have Fire Punch here just as a way to hit the Venusaur when I'm under Trick Room and make sure that doesn't, OHKO me if I'm in Ground Rock form. And if I'm in Fairy, I should be fine against a Sludge Bomb anyways, but this just gives me an option to hit that. And then Medicham, Trick Room, Fake Out, Close Combat, and Headbutt. I mean, there's nothing really too much to say about this Pokemon. It sets up Trick Room if it needs to, and I have Fake Out control if that's required in the matchup. Terra Ground here specifically only to protect against Thunderclap from Raging Bolt. There's nothing really else Terra-wise that's required here, and I'm unlikely to Terra this Pokemon anyway, but if I have my Terra still in the late game, this allows me to use that to protect against priority. So that's the team. Let's get right into the battle. Alright, it is time for the battle against Brayden. He's brought Terra Ghost, Tornadus, Hariyama is Terra Water, Terra Fire Entei, Terra Steel Raging Bolt, Terra Fire Ninetales, and Terra Fire Bastiodon. My lead here every time is going to be Flutter Mane plus the Rhyperior. I have Trick Room depending on what setup he wants to run. I'm going to run Baxcalibur in the back, and I think for this time we're going to run Heatran in the back here. I think for this first set, this Flutter Mane Rhyperior idea, I think is a really, really powerful turn 1 lead. I should be, I wouldn't say guaranteed to get Trick Room off if I want to get it off, but I have a good opportunity to get it off here and put a lot of pressure on his team. He does have the Bastion on the back, which might be able to take advantage of that Trick Room. If I look at the matchup, I'm going to make sure I have the speed tiers on screen just so I can look at that. He does have Bastion, which can outspeed under Trick Room. So that's something we have to be very mindful of, is a possibility of how he wants to play this matchup. Let's see what he leads with. Really want to see a Ninetales. Something like a Ninetales Tornadus lead would actually be kind of perfect for this spot. I could Terra up on my, Rhyperior, potentially, and set up a, maybe a Protect angle. Like that would be like a very powerful lead. Hariyama and Entei. Okay. Interesting lead. So that leads you to really want to Terra Fairy my... so I'm actually going to be able to get... Yeah, let's think about this. So I can get Trick Room up here pretty freely. And then I can start putting pressure with my Rhyperior. I think a Fake Out is coming the way of the Rhyperior. It would be the most likely scenario, I think, in this spot. So I kind of want to Trick Room and start going with that. What I could do... What I think might actually be more productive is if I Moonblast the Hariyama. I don't have like Protect on this thing. I think it's likely that Entei is going to potentially try to attack. I could SD. Man, I'm already kind of waffling a little bit. I'm going to try to SD here with my Rhyperior. As we're going to see the Terra Water come out here. Oh, he probably has Water Terra Blast on this thing. Yeah, that was potentially a mistake. Though I think the Fake Out here is still likely to come out. I think that's the most likely turn of events. I don't think he Raw Terra Blast Waters into my Rhyperior. He is just going to Fake Out the Rhyperior. So that was kind of expected. I am going to be able to get a Moonblast off on that thing, which is nice. It's a little bit of chip damage. And then the Sacred Fire is going to hit and one-shot my Flutter Mane. Wow, that was just a horrible turn for me on all fronts. Just nothing really worked out there as I would like. At this point, I'm just going to bring in my Heatran, though. Heatran is the next, is a really good Pokemon in this spot. I do have the Assault Vest here, so I'm going to be able to at least get an Earth Power off on this Entei. And then at this point, I think I just Terra, Fairy, and Rock Slide. I think it's my most productive turn. I don't think Hariyama is going to be able to do a lot to my Heatran. I think it's going to be tough for him to want to attack that. So I think I'm just going to Rock Slide here. Just deal some spread damage as much as possible and get that Terra off. Alright, so with the fairy, he is going to stomping... Wow, he's stomping tantrums into this. Oh, I do live, which is nice. That bulk is coming in huge. And I'm going to be able to get off a lot of damage. And this Rock Slide should hopefully pick up. And he does actually Drain Punch into this. So I should actually be able to pick up this Entei here. Assuming not all goes wrong. It's very possible I just missed a Rock Slide. Yep. And the Entei misses. Wow, that is like the actually worst case scenario in this spot. Man, really, really needed that to come through to have a chance in this endgame. I'm still likely to have this endgame go the way I want. I'm just going to Dragon Pulse here and just Rock Slide again, I guess. Yeah, Rock Slide is still my best play here. All things considered. So I'm definitely just going to want to lead off. Just do this and see if I can pick off these two Pokemon. I don't think he's got much that he can do to me. Sacred Fire is going to do a lot. And he gets a crit. That crit's massive, actually. And that Dragon Pulse should put this, guaranteed in range of this Rock Slide. I am going to take a knockoff. So I'm going to lose my Lumberry, which is a little bit frustrating, but I think we should be fine. And I do hit my Rock Slide here. So 2 kills for Rhyperior, and we're down to a 3v2. So I'm interested to see what he has in the back. Man, if I had a little bit more HP on this Rhyperior, I think we might have been in a really decent spot, especially with Heatran still up. It forced him to put an attack in on that, depending on what he has in the back. I could see something like Raging Bolt. Ninetales actually set up the... Ninetales is decent. And Tornadus. Okay. So Bleakwind comes out. Man, Bleakwind would have actually been... Oh, that could have actually been, really good for me. If I don't get crit there. This could have actually been a potentially really winnable spot. I'm just going to Rock Slide here. I think Rock Slide is my best play. And yeah, I think I definitely lived that Bleakwind otherwise, certainly, in that spot. So really, really unfortunate the circumstances in game 1. But I think we've made some questionable plays to lead up to it. And I think we know what his game plan is now. And I think we can play into that, certainly, here. So I think at this point, I'm just going to bring this out instead of running. There's no point running in this. This is, for draft, so we do have to kind of get those kills here. I should be slower. What do I want to kill? Probably have to kill this first, to be honest. Probably have to kill the Ninetales. Glaive Rush is, not the best way to do it, but it's the only option I have. And he's going to Flamethrower. I should die here. No, I don't die. Okay, so I get 1 at least. Because there's no... there's no way that this guy doesn't just die to Glaive Rush and take like 1,000,000 damage. Yeah, okay. So I think, ended up being a really, really close game. I guess you could miss. If he misses, that would be hysterical. But I don't think that is going to happen. I think he probably has another move to hit. Yeah, and he's just fine. Alright, so game 1 is down. We lost Fluttermane on turn 1, and probably not a way that we probably needed to. We probably could have just protected, saved that Pokemon, and maybe put off a Shadow Ball on the Entei slot. The turn after might have been a more productive turn, and that would have saved me in that mid game where I missed a Rock Slide and had, Heatran Earth Power. The fact that we live Stomping Tantrum is massive, though. That is huge to know in this spot, because that leads me to kind of not feel the need to Terra Grass in that spot, the next time up. All right, so how do I want to lead into that this next time? Do I want the same lead? Is the question. Is the lead fine? If I play out that same first turn again, I actually think my lead is fine. I think if I play that turn differently, then I think we're in a really good spot. Though I do actually think that lead might be better off with Heatran as a lead. So lead off with these two and then run Baxcalibur and the Fluttermane in the back. This allows me to pressure the Entei. It allows me to pressure Entei and Hariyama at the same time more effectively. And if he leads with some sort of Tornadus Ninetales lead this time, then I'm pretty good with that as well. Alright, let's see what Brayden pulls out this time. Hariyama Bastiodon this time. Okay. Interesting. This is good for me in that I lead Heatran here. Now the question is what does he want to do with that Bastiodon slot? That Bastiodon slot could be problematic. I think I definitely want to double target the Bastiodon. I am probably not faster than the Bastion, actually. So I definitely want a Stomping Tantrum, and I think I Earth Power, or I think I Heat Wave. I think I Terra Heat Wave. Do I want to use my Terra yet? Do I need my Terra for anything in the back? Probably not right now. And if I Heat Wave, that allows me to put good pressure on both of these, and then allow me to Terra Grass potentially next turn. Because I think it's likely Fake Out comes out this turn, likely on one of the Pokemon, which means that if he Terra Waters, I don't think he's going to attack the Rhyperior again. I don't think, especially where I revealed Terra last time, he does Protect. Okay, so he's likely going to just Fake Out with Hariyama somewhere. He doesn't. Okay. Well, let's not burn here, because that could be a problem. He's going to Drain Punch on my... He's going to Drain Punch on my Heatran. Okay. And the Stomping Tantrum obviously goes into the Bastiodon slot. So the question here is how do we play around this now? What options does he have? I could SD and set up for like a Rock Slide angle. I think it's likely he tries to Terra Water here. I think I just Stomping Tantrum this guy again. I think he could Terra Water. So I want to protect against that by Terra Grass, target the Hariyama. I should be able to live a Terra Blast, I think. Oh, man, VGC calcing is so difficult. I'm just going to do this. I think this is fine. He's going to withdraw. Yeah, I probably could have Rock Slided there. I think the switch into Tornadus was pretty obvious. I do get the Terra Blast off, so he's not going to Terra Blast Water my Rhyperior at least. And I do protect against him Terra Watering there, and I know that when he does that, it'll deal a lot of damage. So yeah, I think that switch was one I think was kind of telegraphed, and I just, didn't play into it. If I Rock Slide there, I'm obviously in a massive, massive spot. At this point, how do I want to approach this? Do I just Rock Slide? I mean, he's gonna Bleak Wind, I think. So I think I can go into. So if I Rock Slide, that puts a lot of pressure on the. It puts a lot of pressure on the Tornadus. I think I can go into. He's probably gonna Drain Punch this. I probably have a free switch here into Flutter Mane. Actually, on this turn, I should be able to live the combination of Bleak Wind plus Drain Punch in this spot, get my Flutter Mane in, hopefully I need to get the Rock Slide off on both of these guys. Like, this is just a requirement to victory at this point. And he is going to Terra. He's going to go for the Terra Water now. Wow. Brayden is just kind of... Oh, he's going to go for Terra Ghost. Okay, Terra Ghost to get out of the form that's weak to Rock Slide. So that's actually also good, because that allows me to make sure I guarantee Moonblast. Oh, he's gonna miss Bleak Wind on the Rhyperior, not maybe the one I wanted him to miss on, but the one I'll take, because I'm definitely gonna be fine on this now. And this Rock Slide should at least guarantee some decent damage on the Tornadus, and I can get off a really, really nice. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna miss the Rock Slide on the Hariyama and the Torn. Okay, you know what? Sometimes things aren't meant to be. It is what it is. That is the game that we live. What other plays do I have at this point to get me out of this? Pressuring the Hariyama is, I think, what he probably expects me to do here. So I kind of expect him... I mean, he can live anyway. I think I have to pressure the Tornadus. I think pressuring the Tornadus leads me to the best outcome, because I can outspeed and Glaive Rush the Hariyama. And he does withdraw the Hariyama anyway, so getting a Shadow Ball here off on the Tornadus would be massive. That would actually be really, really big. And I do pick up the knockout perfect. I really need to break this sturdy now on the Bastiodon. So we do get that play right. So we pulled at least some momentum back in this game. We don't have to worry about Tailwind either right now, which is big. Oh my god, this guy missed again. Dude, put your glasses on right here. What is going on? This guy's missing everything. Alright, in comes freaking Hariyama. And at this point, I'm just like in a position where there's just nothing going for me. You know, I get a play wrong that I think would have potentially, I don't think win me the game, but it would have put me in a really nice spot. I think at this point I kind of just Stomping Tantrum. I kind of have to break the sturdy here, so I'm gonna Stomping Tantrum this, and I'm gonna Moonblast, target the Hariyama, try to open up some potential endgame scenario with Heatran plus the the Baxcalibur, since I still have all of my mons left. So I still have that going for me, and I'm probably going to have to eat a friggin' steel move here, which will probably do 1,000,000 damage to me that I just probably don't have the luxury of taking. The iron defenses, wow, okay. That is actually pretty massive. That could be problematic. I think I go into this thing next, because I can target. Do I double target? I kind of wish I had Dazzling Gleam at this point. So I'm definitely know I'm going to be able to kill with Moonblast on the Hariyama. The question is do I just Heat Wave to try to put a double target, break the Bastiodon, break the Sturdy on Bastiodon, and maybe try to get a burn off on that. I think that is what I like. Obviously this move's going to miss anyway, so it's not like it matters in the slightest. But the question is, do I Moonblast the Hariyama slot? I do think I Moonblast the Hariyama slot still. I think there's a decent chance he switches into something like the Ninetales, and he does have Bullet Punch here. I think I have a decent chance of living. I do live, which is huge. And I do, you know, proc my Citrus Berry, which I do reveal, but I don't think the reveal is going to matter too much. I just need to hit this Heat Wave, because this Hariyama is now down, and if I hit the Heat Wave, then I'm in potentially a really, really good spot here in the end game. Dude, come on, man. Oh, I do hit. Oh my god, I baited myself. I thought I was going to miss for sure. And that Body Press is going to go on the Heatran. Wow. Oh my goodness, that is massive. And that is Leftovers Bastiodon. Oh my goodness, this game is insane. So much going on here. And Entei comes out. Wow, this is a massive, massive moment. This is actually huge because I can lock myself into Stomping Tantrum in this spot. I think I'm going to Earth Power the Bastiodon. I think that's my best play. Do I have another play with Fluttermane here? Or do I just have to Shadow Ball the Entei and hope he targets down the Heatran? Because I know that I can bring him back Excalibur and probably deal enough damage to the Bastiodon. Yeah, I'm going to Shadow Ball here. He's going to Extreme Speed. That does pick it off. I'm not Flash Fire. Or Flame. No, I guess Flame Body doesn't matter there. I'd really, really need to pick up a lot of damage on this spot. I really need big damage here. It's probably Assault Vest, though. That is a lot of damage, and he's going to Heavy Slam me. So I think I am going to lose this. Yeah, I really, really should have Rock Slided there on that turn where I Stomping Tantrum. I think that would have, you know, given me the opportunity to win this game. But at this point, I don't think there's much that I can do to get myself out of this predicament with the Baxcalibur. This is a really, really good game. You know, a lot of big turns. I'm just going to target the Entei. I don't think I have a good target here either way. Stone Edge is going to do 1,000,000 damage anyway. So I think I probably have the best chance of killing Entei, so I can at least pull another kill for the Baxcalibur. But two really close games. I could have done maybe a little bit more to win those, but just recently just been not on my game. It feels like I've been losing a lot. I've expected that in BGC. BBR has been a little bit of a tough ride as well, but good game to Braden. We lost to him twice in the last couple of weeks. You know, really, really good player, but two very, very close sets. I'm keeping this a lot closer than I think I was expecting coming in, so happy with that, but definitely need to turn it around at this point if we have any chance of making playoffs.